We're halfway through January, folks. Welcome back to Fog Football, and maybe today is the day that transfer business is going to heat up and kick up. But let's talk about Celtic in today's video. Later on, there will be a lot more discussion about other transfers. Potentially, Lawrence Shankland to Aberdeen. That would be insane, but that's for later on, and there's truth to it. Right here, today, right now, it is Luis Palma and Kyogo. And we'll start with Kyogo, because that is the more negative news from a Celtic perspective. As Brendan Rodgers simply put it, Celtic are not scared of Kyogo speculation. Obviously, Brendan Rodgers is going to say that, but I think everybody from outside or inside Celtic, you don't want to be left with Adam Adea up front. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I think if Celtic sold Kyogo and didn't sign a striker, it's not going to affect them domestically. I honestly, I just don't think it would, because Celtic are more than good enough to. I mean, Maida starts up front for Japan, and we've seen him start up front for Celtic, so you could do that. But then at the same time, who starts on the left instead of Maida? And also, when you're selling Kyogo, you are leaving yourself up a wee bit light up front. But here, Johnny Kenny, what about him? He could definitely do a job, definitely. But this is what Rodgers said regarding Kyogo, who of course scored two pretty good goals against Ross County at the weekend. People will always look into something. He didn't celebrate enough, or he didn't do this, or he didn't do that. I see him every day. I see his work. I see his intensity. Maybe he scores so much that he doesn't feel he has to celebrate madly all the time, or maybe he was just too cold. He's just the same guy. There is always speculation. We're not scared of the speculation and the gossip. He's fine, and he will travel to Dundee. He was then asked if Celtic had any contingency plans for any bids that arrived for first team players. He went on to say, and I quote, all these what if scenarios, you have to be prepared. If a player doesn't want to be here, then go. At that point, the club has got to get the best possible deal. I don't see the point of keeping someone who doesn't want to be here. It's all eventualities we prepare for. Whether it's injuries or transfers, you always have to be ready. But for him, he's happy, he's working well, scoring goals, and enjoying his football. End of quote. Here, a day has started the last few games for Celtic. Is that Rodgers trying to be like, right, let's try and get a day accustomed to starting games for Celtic in case he leaves here, in case Kyogo leaves and we're stuck with a day? I don't know, but well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we've seen literally in like a couple of days ago, Atlanta United in the United States of America, pal. They released that they signed Kyogo, but it was all one big misunderstanding. Not quite sure how you do that. I mean, what absolutely? I mean, the fact that Ronnie Delia manages them just makes it even fucking weirder. But I think Celtic fans would be panicking if Kyogo got sold and the days were ticking down without signing a new striker. Because here, forget about domestic football for a second. The league's wrapped up, right? Champions League. You don't want to be going into these Champions League games at Villa Park, right? And the knockout rounds, because yeah, we're assuming they'll beat young boys. They should. You don't want to be going into them games with Adam Day up front. You know what I mean? I think Adam Day can offer something different, a bit more physical presence than Kyogo. But Kyogo's the guy you want in the European games. Absolutely 110%. So Celtic should probably do all they can to keep him. But at the same time, he's not getting younger. And therefore, if you are looking to sell him, he is 29, Kyogo. I believe he actually might be 20. He might be 30, sorry, this month. Don't quote me on it, but he might be. But for me, I wouldn't want to get rid of him. But we'll see how that goes if I was a Celtic fan. But moving on to a deal that has apparently collapsed. Luis Palma looked set to be leaving Celtic Football Club, but now is set to stay at Celtic Football Club. As the 24-year-old Celtic winger's proposed move to Real Vallecano has collapsed after the Spanish club were placed under a transfer ban. So I mean, that's pretty unlucky. I wonder what would have happened though if the deal went through, then like 10 minutes later you get hit with a transfer ban. I wonder how that works. But this is just a guy that doesn't really have much of a future at Celtic. He's just not good enough. It's a weird one because, last season, I remember he scored that goal against Lazio in the Champions League, then he got ruled for offside. It's moments like that where if that gets given, maybe it kickstarts his career. you know, but he's been there longer than Kuhn, and I think that's the problem. It's like Kuhn, for the first half of 2024 was nowhere near good enough, and now he's like by far and away the best player in this league right now. So it just shows you that it can switch if you just have a bit of good faith go with you. But I think Rodgers has ran out of faith, and more importantly, I think all the fans have ran out of faith. I don't think you'll find many Celtic fans having a go at Rodgers for not giving Luis Palma more time at the club. I think his time is up, and someone else's time is now. And no, it's not going to be John Cena's time. It's going to be somebody else coming through that door. And Celtic fans will be hoping they can see him, because I tell you what, Palma's went missing on a few occasions. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below, guys. The review shows, the preview shows will be back to normal this week. We'll try and sort them out tonight, because, yeah, it's been a chaotic last couple of days on Fog Football. So much drama. Going to games, protests, all that good stuff. You know the score. Till then, peace.